Hi there, and these comments are for MM, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer of OTC, OnlineTOEFLCourse.com, and you are completing one of my independent speaking practice tests, and I think you're one of my 30-day TOEFL speaking bootcamp course students, right? And I'm going to actually give you some feedback on this particular practice test, so let's see how you did. So is it easier to eat healthy food today? Why or why not? So let me listen to it. So speaking, I'm going to go ahead and listen to it right now. Let's see how you did. I'm going to listen to the whole thing once without making any comments at all. Then the second time I'll make some more comments on it.
I think it is easier to eat healthy food today than in the past because they are easy to find and also some options are very cheap.
Okay, so looks like you have 2 points: the convenience of it and the expense of it. And you know what? Those are pretty easy things that you can write about in this type of task.
First of all, if you go to a supermarket, it is not difficult to find a healthy food. In the past, you may have to go to a special store that carried a special healthy food, but that is not the case nowadays. Also, some options are very cheap and affordable, so you don't have to spend a lot of money to buy one. That is the reason I think it is much easier to find a healthy food nowadays.
Now, is there anything that any types of examples in there that I think you can provide? I think that would be helpful to help you develop the topic in a little bit more detail. Let's take a look here at the rubrics here. So, four, I don't think you're a four. Three, maybe not quite. So, I think you're close, but not quite in the three area. I'm going to say between 2.5 and 3. You're probably looking at maybe 19 to 20, 21 points out of 30 on this. If you look at, I think you have what I call awkward intonation. You must vary your tone a little bit more. I think that you have some limitations with your grammar and your vocabulary, and you can probably be a little more specific with the ideas that you are explaining. So these are probably some things I want you to think about. Okay, let's listen to it one more time and let's go bit by bit.
I think it is easier
First of all, I think you don't need to say that. Just say it is easier to eat healthy food today or than it was in the past.
to eat healthy food today than in the past because they are easy to find and also some options are very cheap.
Now you said because they. I would say because it is easier to find. Using it to refer to food. You're using food there, it looks like, as an uncount noun. Uncount nouns are singular, so that it should be it and not they.
First of all, if you go to a supermarket,
This is the first problem. No. Say, first of all, uh, consumers will find healthy foods at the supermarkets nowadays or something. I would use consumers. Then once you give the example, then go to your personal experience. But I would avoid using the you point of view.
it is not difficult to find a healthy food.
I would say to find healthy food, not a healthy food.
In the past, you may have to go to a special store that carried a special healthy food.
Now I got too many pauses and hesitations in there. I would say something like, how would I say this? I would say, for example, in the past, I could only find healthy foods at Trader Joe's, which was about 30 kilometers from my house. However, today I can find many types of healthy foods at my local supermarket, like Stater Brothers or maybe Ralph's. Now, I'm just giving my own examples because that's what I know. You give the examples that you know. But you need to get more specific at this point in the response.
But that is not the case nowadays. Also, some options are very cheap and affordable, so you don't have to
When you see some options say, in addition, many healthy options today are more affordable than they are in the past. I would say something like that.
spend a lot of money to buy one.
Say, for example, in the past, if you wanted to buy an apple, the apple, if it was a healthy organic apple, it would be about 25 to 30% more expensive than the other apples, the not organic apples. However, today, the price of organic apples versus the price of normal apples is almost the same. So that's the example. You got to make it up if you can't think of anything. That's what I just did. I just made it up. So you need to give more specific examples in there. That's going to help strengthen your argument, and you will score higher on the TOEFL test by doing that.
That is the reason I think it is much easier to find a healthy food nowadays. I think it is easier to eat
Okay.
healthy food today than in the past.
Okay, so we're okay there. So let me talk to you now for just a brief second. So I think for the most part, you're in pretty good shape. I think I'm going to put you maybe between 2.5 and 3. To get better, you need to make changes in your intonation. You need to vary your tone more than you are right now. The way you can do that is by studying pronunciation lessons 36 through 40, all of which deal with intonation. I think that's going to be important for you right now. In addition, I think with the language use, you need more specific, more precise vocabulary to help you explain your ideas. You tend to talk in more general terms, right? And when you're speaking, I would say focus or use the first and the third person points of view, not that second person point of view, because you want to be more personal in the examples. You'll be much more specific if you use your own point of view. I think with the topic development, it's kind of related to language use. You need to get some specific details in there to help you explain your ideas. Now, go to my online TOEFL course. I want you to take a look at the lesson. It's called TOEFL Independent Speaking Strategies. I think it's speaking lesson number 1. Go through that lesson. You've probably gone through it already, but look at those example responses and look at the specific details that you need to include in your response to score high. All right, so those are some of my comments based on your performance on this. All right, and thank you for completing this particular practice test.